All right, so in my video yesterday, I told you that I thought that the peace deal that was negotiated by Trump and Israel and not Palestine was a joke and was complete BS. And today, the Ministry of Defense of Israel tweeted this or posted this on X or whatever. Israel's great challenge after the phase of returning the hostages will be the destruction of all Hamas terror tunnels in Gaza directly by the IDF and through the international mechanism to be established under the leadership and supervision of the United States. Now remember, I said they're sending troops over there, so now our troops are going to be helping Israel to get rid of the tunnels in Gaza, which is what they've been saying all along, that there were all these tunnels. None of it's been proven. They have not proven a single ounce other than some diagrams that they made up that there are even tunnels there. He goes on to say, this is the primary significance of implementing the agreed upon principle of demilitarizing Gaza and neutralizing Hamas of its weapons. I have instructed the IDF to prepare for carrying out the mission. Now, again, as I said, this is a official government account from the Israeli Minister of Defense. So, as I said, this isn't over. They knew all along that this wasn't over. They're going to still try to convince you that there are tunnels under Gaza, under hospitals, under schools, under churches, under whatever they can say they're under to justify completely wiping out the rest of Gaza so that they can start building their condos. And this is a blatant lie. And I've had people telling me, oh, but Hamas on October 7th, they're animals, they're evil, they do this, they do that. Look, you need to do your due diligence and study the history of Hamas. Okay, first of all, they were put into power because they were funded by Israel. Okay? They got into power with 3% of the vote of Palestinians. Once they got power, they canceled elections so that they couldn't be moved out. That's exactly what Netanyahu and his party wanted, so that Likud party, so that they could do what they're doing now. And then October 7th was allowed to happen. And if you understand the history, you realize Hamas is Israel. So Israel, working with Israel, allowed these people and hang gliders to come over and do what they did, and the military was told to stand down. They didn't respond for at least 4 to 6 hours on a border that is the most secure border in the world. There is a lady that is a journalist for Israel, a Jewish woman, who said a cat, a feline, a kitten, cat, whatever, cannot move on that border without being detected. It is absolutely the most secure border in the world. And we're to believe that people on hang gliders with makeshift weapons were able to cross that border and do what we're told that they did. There has been no evidence of rapes. There have been no evidence of babies in ovens, no evidence of beheading, other than on the other side. Israel has been guilty of doing those things. Israel actually sent back a body of a Palestinian to their family, and the family took the body and had a funeral for it, and guess what? There was a bomb in the body, and when they were having the funeral, Israel detonated the bomb. Not Hamas, people, citizens. So you can keep trying to tell yourself that Hamas are the terrorists, but Israel are the terrorists. And let's just play out your scenario. Let's play it out as though Hamas is real and Hamas did what they said they did on October 7th. Let's say they did go across the border, they did these things to 1,200 people. Does that justify the annihilation of over 50,000 children at this point? Does it justify that? I have actually seen recent numbers as high as 250,000 dead in Palestine. And half of the population, based on the UN, half of the population is 18 and under. So 250,000, half of that children, dead. So even if it were a terrorist attack, even if they did get across the border and they killed 1,200 people, that does not justify the murder of up to 250,000 innocent civilians. Israel is second to no one other than the US in propaganda. So you have been propagandized, and I highly recommend you go over to the Gray Zone and you read all of the research and all of the stuff that they have done about Palestine and the Israel conflict and what Israel actually did on October 7th. There's videos of them in Apache helicopters firing on the festival goers. Israel firing a tank into a home that held their hostages, killing 19 people, their own hostages, Israeli hostages. And I believe it was 3 of them were children. You're being lied to. Like, you don't believe our government on half the stuff that they say, but you're going to believe this propaganda? This is absolute propaganda. 1,200 lives does not justify 250,000, upwards of 250,000 lives. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. If you think it does, you're a fucking monster. And I know all the Zionists are going to come after me and, Hamas. Do your due diligence. Look into history. This didn't start on October 7th. None of this started on October 7th. This has been going on since 1948. And Israel has plans to expand even beyond Gaza, even beyond Palestine. You don't have to search very hard to find people that are saying, literally from the river to the sea, that they're going to take over that entire area.
You say the Palestinians don't exist.
I didn't get your comment.
Your position is that the Palestinians don't exist. So what are they?
It's an invention. It's an invention that is not as secondary to the important fact that the Jewish nation, that the land of Israel belongs only to one nation, and this is the Jewish nation. The Palestinians are Arabs who try to compete with the big success of the Jews in the land of Israel. And actually, the word Palestine was used by Adrian, the Roman emperor. But the modern Palestinians are Arabs who want the same place that the Jews made a paradise of. They want to take it from us, and we won't let it happen.
But actually what's happening is you want to take their land, isn't it?
Okay, so you make your position, I make mine, and the world will judge. And I mean, it's interesting that when there are historical facts that can be proven, and then you cling to what? I really don't understand what history you represent.
Well, just taking Ms. Weiss, taking your argument to its logical extension, then you believe that Israelis and Jewish people should be entitled to all of the West Bank and all of Gaza. If it's your land, as you say...
Not just all of the West Bank. It's not bank. Bank is a narrow place.
Okay.
It's the major part of the area between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean.
So you would like, just to be clear, you would like all of the land from the river to the sea to be Israeli Jewish, yeah?
No, I want all the land from the Euphrates to the Nile. What do you mean? Why hide the
I'm just curious
history?
I'm curious what you intend to do with all the Palestinians who currently live there.
Those, you see, I trust, in God I trust. And I live by faith, by Emunah, and by the Bible.
Yeah, but what are you going to do with all the millions of Palestinians? What happens?
I'm telling you, Joshua, the first settlers, he gave me I
don't need a history lesson. I'm just asking you, what do you intend to do with the millions of Palestinians who currently live in Gaza and the West Bank?
Exactly what Joshua did.
What are you going to do with them?
That's exactly what he had. When Joshua came with us from Egypt, he had to cope with 7 peoples who lived here. Why God chose to bring us from Egypt to such a complicated place and not to Canada, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that Joshua said, those who accept our sovereignty, our government, will stay. Those who fight, will fight them. And those who do not accept our sovereignty, our government, they will go to other places. There is a clear formula. So I do not have to invent.
Well, there is a clear formula.
It's actually by the Bible.
Yeah, but again, to be clear, your clear formula, there's a legal term for it. It's called ethnic cleansing. What you're saying is if Palestinian people do not subscribe to the fact they should be ruled by Israel and have you as their sovereign state, then they have to leave, right? So 6-7 million Palestinians would have to leave and go and live elsewhere. That's your position.
Caitlin Johnstone is somebody that I follow on X, and she gave about the best analogy that I've seen on this issue. She says, why aren't the Free Palestine people cheering about the ceasefire? If you saw a man beating a child into a coma, would you cheer after the beating stopped? No, your first reaction would be horror at what happened, and your second would be fear that he'll attack the kid again. That is such a beautiful analogy, and it's so true. And the thing is, like I said, the Palestinians have nothing to do with this deal. Like nobody asked them. And now, if you watch on X and you watch on social media, other Israelis and Zionists are trying to say that they're not going by the deal. They've got plans to kill and behead kids. They're sending back dead bodies with bombs in it, which is what Israel has actually done. They're making up these things so that you will be on board when they finish the job, because that's ultimately what they want to do. That's all they want to do. They want to finish the job. And they are going to do and say anything they have to get you on board with doing it. So you will be a complicit in a genocide if you support it. If your Zionist belief, if your ideologies and all of that lead you to accept this and justify it, you are on the wrong side of history. And you need to do a little bit of research and look into the history of Hamas. Look into Israel's inception in 1948. Look into all of it. Don't just sit here and look at talking points and look at headlines and listen to what other Israelis and Zionists are saying. Do research. Do just a little bit of research. Start at the Gray Zone. The Gray Zone with Max Blumenthal and Aaron Mate and those guys. They do amazing research. They are great journalists and Jewish. So you can't call them anti-Semite. And then also Dan Cohen, another Jew, has a lot of great reporting on what's going on over there. So don't just buy what you're told. Do your due diligence and do some research. And let's have a discussion. Because like I said, if you are a Christian or you are somebody who believes in life, then you should know that Jesus would not be standing on that border saying, well, you know what? They did come in here and, kill about 1,200 people, beheaded some kids and stuff. So you know what? Kill them. Kill them all. I don't see Jesus saying that. And I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist and I couldn't do that. Do you think I don't have a moral compass because I'm an atheist? As an atheist, I see that you do not murder innocent women and children and claim that they were hiding behind Hamas. Hamas was hiding them behind them. Bullshit. None of that has been proven. Not an ounce of it. Because it's Israeli propaganda. And so many times Israel has done something and they denied it, and then they got called out by the world, and then they will admit it. But then they come up with a way to spin it. Just look at history. That's all you got to do. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's have a discussion. And thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe no matter what platform you're watching this or listening to this on. And remember, I also have a Patreon over at altmiddlepodcast.com. Head over there, become a member, and you'll get your name in the credits, which are coming in the future. We're editing everything right now, and then we'll start downloading those from Patreon and putting those up. So your name will be at the end of every single video that I do. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.